Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dallas Daily Show, coming at you again from the passenger side here in our vehicle as my son Lex is our driving machine. Lex, how you doing this morning?
Tired.
We are on our way to football practice, and he is getting in his time behind the wheel. Today's topic is the rules of the road. Let's get into it. All right, so yesterday we started the conversation here that there are life lessons that we can learn, and sometimes it's going back to the beginner's mind. And I get to be here with my son Lex as he is putting in the hours behind the wheel with his permit so that he can become a licensed driver in, holy cow, 6 months?
No, more than that.
March, I guess.
Yeah. So like 8 or 9.
8 or 9 months. Holy cow. I cannot believe we've got an almost 16-year-old. Today's topic, though, we're talking about this idea of rules of the road. As Lex was going through his driver's education class through school, obviously they had to study the rules of the road. And I think largely these ideas are standardized across all 50 states. There may be some slight nuances and difference. I know, like, the way that Tennessee has their stoplights is slightly different than the way that Illinois and St. Louis do, and there's some differences between Missouri driving and Illinois driving, et cetera, et cetera. So I even remember that there are rules of the road that were slightly different when we lived in California, but nevertheless, by and large, the rules of the road remain the same. They are standardized, and they're standardized for a couple of reasons. Number one, our mutual protection. It is not necessarily about the control element, but it is about mutual protection of each other, mutual respect, and I think obviously there is something to be said there socially, that we don't run red lights, we don't cross in front of pedestrians, there's certain rules we don't break. Even if you're alone at a red light, most people typically stop and just pay attention in case there's a pedestrian or another vehicle coming. And those rules of the roads, how we merge, turning left on a yield arrow, there's so many rules, divided highways, right? There are so many rules that we have to follow, and what it does is it provides a mutual safety net for, what would the word be here, Lex? I guess respect. I guess that would be the case. So that definitely is true. But while I could get into the political side of things, I would rather focus on this concept that also there are certain principles, there are certain values, there are certain, quote, rules of the road as you are becoming who you want to be. There are times that you have to merge. There are times that you have to yield. There are times that you have to full out stop. But it's all on this highway of life where you are becoming the future version of you. We talk about that all the time on this podcast. But sometimes we break our own rules. Sometimes we break the standard rules of business, the standard rules of client success, the standard rules of mind shift mentality, the standard rules, honestly, of loving who we are becoming. And when we break those rules, we can crash out. And that's a really powerful thought for you to consider today. Where are you abiding by the principles of life, the principles of success, the principles of health, of wealth, of abundance, right? We talk about the 4 areas all the time. We talk about your spiritual, your physical, we talk about your relational, and we talk about your professional. These are all areas where you can thrive, not just survive. You're not careening out of control on the highways of life, but you can actually perfectly move forward, perfectly make progress, all of those things, if you are willing to abide by the rules of the road. What are the principles of success when it comes to spiritual health, balancing your inner and outer world? What are the principles of success in your physical life, both nutrition, physical wellness, as well as mobility, agility, strength, precision, all of those things? What are the rules of the road when it comes to thriving relationships? What does it mean to have thriving relationships with open communication one with another, where you are growing toward those people you love and value? What about in your professional world, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you an employee or whether you are, what would the word be for it? A freelancer, it doesn't really matter. If you're an employee, an entrepreneur, wherever you are in the professional world, there are rules and principles that you can follow for a good work culture, for good success in business and sales, and not to mention financial principles that are eternal as far as saving and investing and giving of your treasures to others as well. So there are ways that you can just go through it. All right. Speaking of rules of the road, we just had a moment here. You're going to love it. Lex was coming up on a yellow light that kind of went yellow, kind of went red. He didn't know what to do. He started to brake, realized he wasn't going to make it, had to go through it. Way better than stopping in the middle of the intersection. Sometimes you have to do that as well in life. I love that. That was perfectly timed for the end of the episode. How you feeling?
Good.
You all right with that shift you just had to do?
Yeah.
All right. He's a man of many words at 7 a.m. All right, my friends, here's what I want you to think about. Here's a key takeaway. How are you honoring the principles of success, the rules of the road in every area of your life, spiritually, physically, relationally, professionally, so that you can move forward to your destiny and become future you? That's it. That's all I got for you. Have a great day. Be safe out there on the road, my friends. I said have a great day. I never end have a great day, Lex.
Why?
I always end with have a championship day. Would you be willing to say that to everybody?
Have a championship day, y'all.
He said y'all. Have a championship day, guys.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to dallasdailyshow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.